This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day and of the week. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and the old indexes, the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. Coming off pretty good here. Let's see how it closes at the end of the day. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the rig count. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation advice on any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly. Now you can see how nice here we had this, okay? So we look at that, we had that left shoulder, the head, and the old right shoulder here, okay? Now, when we take the measured move, okay, so basically what you do is you take this 99 right here, okay? And then we just calculate here what we have here on this neckline. Okay, so we look at the neckline going on here. So roughly, if you take that and you flip that over, you're looking at hitting about 25,000. Okay, now that's if it plays on out here. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're looking for 113. Okay, we surpassed that. 118, we surpassed that, and now your next level is going to be 121. Okay, and then we can go to that 125 area. Now you can see here we have this nice big candle here, but we did leave this gap fill. Okay, so on the downside, you want to watch that 115,653 level if it sells down, and then we want to look at the top of that candle at that 114,380 level. Okay, now again, if it keeps on selling, then we have right here, you look at 112,590 level, then we'll come down to the top of here at 111,220, and then we're looking right here for that 110,903, which is your 8 SMA here. Now that's the downside. Now you can see here how the price has got outside its price channel, so a lot of times it wants to come back in, so a little consolidation is not going to hurt. But right now here we have ourselves a nice good run. Not just like what we had here, a nice good run. And then we'll see how this all shakes out. But realistically, what it needs to do is have the 8-day catch up. Okay, so once it breaks on out here, it wants to get back to that 8-day kind of a scenario here. So let's just see how this all shakes out here. I'm long the BITX, and I'm also trading it. Okay, now you can see on the weekly chart, we're watching this 8-day 108.28 level. Obviously, we're above that, and we're into all this thickness, all this resistance level. Now you can see where she's popping up nicely. Now, you can see where the RSI here getting to a little bit overbought condition, but it can go much higher than that. Your green is over your red. This is looking very good, and we can also do the sideways action. Now, on the daily chart, we haven't even reached it there yet, and the green is over your red. So this could go very, very, much higher. So let's just see how it shakes out at the end of the week. Now, the last couple of days, it's been very unique here because it's been trading here up good and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, late in the afternoon, it just had like a big pop-up kind of situation. Same way here, had a big pop-up situation. And after hours yesterday, boy, she just popped right on up here looking at what happened today. So let's just see how it actually going to act this afternoon here. But again, right now, the upside target we're looking for is at 119,450. We crack that, you're going to go to that 121, and then we're going to go to that 125, about 500 level. That would be play out this inverse head and shoulders pattern. But let's just see how this all shakes out here. Now, I really think that eventually this is going to just keep on ripping up higher after we have this little consolidation. Bitcoin is just, it's in play. So you want to make sure that you're long. So what I do is I have a trade that I am long the IBIT. I'm long the IBIT. That's a 1-to-1. I'm long the BITX, and then I trade the BITX because it has a lot of movement. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now, here's the gold. Okay, so watch my video this morning. I said what we want to do on the downside is we want to watch that 8-day. That's going to be key support, 33.42. And we want to watch that 50-day at 33.32. Okay, so that's what we want to watch, 33.42. And that 50-day at 33.32. Now, we lose that, you're going to come right down here. You're looking at 33.19. We'll come to the bottom there at 32.90, and then we can come down bottom of that candle, 32.66, and then a retest is 33.50, okay? But that's not what it did, okay? So if you look at this chart here, see we have the head, we have a left shoulder, we have a right shoulder. Eventually, it's going to break out. Now, I said what we're going to do is we want to watch that 21-day at 33.60, and then we want to watch the top of this candle here, 33.76. That's going to be very, very key. So right now, we're sitting at that 33.77. I did not take a position in GLD there today, not just because we're not above that 21-day, because we are, but you want to get above this candle right here. The reason being is, if it comes up to this candle here, even if it makes it a little bit higher today, you made 33.81 versus the 33.76 here, that could be a double top situation and it could come down, okay? So always remember that. So if you miss a little bit on the bottom, who cares? Okay, long as you're looking at what I'm looking at here, if we close above that 33.76, this is your big target here at that 34.76 and possibly 35.09. Okay, but we'd have to see what the reaction is. This is the key is here. You want to make sure that you close above these. This is the recent high of this sideways action. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get above that and close above that. Then we can take it up here, and your target's going to be 34.76. Yeah, there's resistance in the middle, 33.85. We have 34.13. We have 34.22, and we can come all the way up here, 34.68. But again, once you start having that big open space like that, 34.76 is going to be your target. Then we'd have to see what the reaction is once you get there. Does it like this and come right on off here, or does it crack through and then we hit that 35.09? So sometimes it's risk to reward kind of a situation. Okay. Now again, you look at this 54. We got plenty of room to run. The green is still below the red, but that could curl up here, and this could be a really, really nice trade here. So on the downside, just watch that 21-day, very, very key. Watch that 8-day, and then watch that 50-day. But on the upside, watch this right here, this 33.76. We get above that here, so we want to make sure that we don't have no double top and it comes back down. That would be a good trade here on the GLD, all the way back up to this 34.76 level. Okay, now on silver, okay, I'm still long on the silver. Okay, the reason being is here was yesterday's candle. Okay, see this? We got as high as 37.69, but just look up here. Okay, look at the C level. Where do we close? Okay, see, we close at 37.62. This is the level I was watching right here, this 37.40. So we closed above that. So again, if we close above on this GLD at 33.76, then I would jump into GLD because it's going to probably go higher. The odds are very much intact in that favor. Okay, so now we're looking at 39.12 here. First of all, we're looking at that 38 level. We obviously went above that. Now I'm looking for that 40 level here on the old silver here, and possibly now even the 42 level. Okay, so she's breaking out really, really nicely. So I went long the SLV here. I'm going to see by the end of the day if I'm still going to be in it or not here. I might not take it into the weekend. Because a lot of times they'll give you a buying opportunity. It comes down even like a quarter of the candle. You can get back in here and maybe take it higher versus going into the weekend. We just don't know. Now, another reason I took the trade here is because look at this 21-day, okay? Look how many times that has hit it and it held it. The 8-day never crossed that 21-day. It just came to it, and then it went right back up here. And that, okay, so you always look at that. You say, wow, I have an uptrending market. I'm holding that 21-day. I'm holding that 8-day. And then yesterday we had that nice green candle, which took out all three of these red candles here, and we closed above the recent high at that 37.40 here. We had a little bit higher high at 37.43, but this was the candle I was watching on a closing basis. Obviously, it went higher, and that's why I took the trade on the SLV. So I'm going to see if I'm still going to hold the trade here at the end of the day. Probably not. I'll probably dump the SLV here, and then we'll see how that shakes out. Now, RSI here, we're getting to that overbought here situation. We can go a little bit higher. The green crossed your red, so this could go up here. So I'm looking for that 40 mark, maybe possibly even 42. So let's see how she shakes out. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude oil. Now, you can see here how crude oil here, right here, okay, we put an inside day in. Say we made as high as 68.59. Yesterday's high was 68.65. Yesterday's low there was 66.45. And then the low today was 66.50, okay? So I jumped in this trade on UCO, okay? Now I'm out of the trade completely because I traded it into that 200-day and then I'm out, okay? Reason being is, look at there, you hit it, went into it, popped up, couldn't close above it, into it and down. So you got to respect that 200-day. Now, if it goes back up here, what I'm watching is this 200 SMA here, 68.40, and then I'm going to watch the top of this candle right here at 68.94. If you close above that, okay, then we're going to come to the bottom here. You're looking at 69.56. We got a target up here, 71.33, and we got a target up there all the way here at that 70.32 level, okay? That would be where we would be going in the upside. So for me, it was just a trade there going into, soon as this, I put the chart side by side, and then as soon as I see this crude oil hit that 200-day, boom, I'm out of the trade because, again, it's like a brick wall. So now what you're doing is you're watching that 200-day, you're watching this 21-day. On the downside, we're watching this 8-day at that 67.49. We lose that, we're going to come to yesterday's low, 66.45, and then we're going to look at 65.41, and then we have your 64.37, and then we have your 64 flat, which is basically the bottom of that candle. Now, Another reason I took this trade is because what I always watch is the previous day's candle, the high, the low, and the close. Okay, so you put that low in there at 66.45. It never made that low. Okay, it went down to 66.50. So that tells you that's one tell that says, wow, I got to get into this trade because we held yesterday's low and she rallied up nice. But then you have to always respect that 200-day because of how many times that it held it here. So we just have a sideways action. I'm out of the trade. I have no position right now in the crude oil, and I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen starting Sunday night. Okay. Now, here on the natural gas, this was actually a good trade here on the UNG. Okay, it went right on up here, but where did it go? It went up into the 3.37 level. Okay, I jumped in. I didn't get much out of the UNG today here because you have that 200-day right above it, and I sold everything right into that 200-day. Okay, this is Friday. I don't want to get stuck in the trade. Now, here we are. Look at it. You went to the 8-day, hit the 21-day, and now you're coming right on back again. Okay, so downside, what you're looking at is 3.29 level. Okay, we want to come here at 3.27. We looked at yesterday's low at 3.19. Then we have your retest down here at 3.15. Okay, see how strong that 8-day is. Okay, see how it went into it, stopped it, went above it, but it came back down, stopped it, stopped it, stopped it, stopped it, and then stopped it again. Okay, so you got to respect that 8-day. It gets above it, you got to respect that 200 SMA here. Very, very strong. Now, if we can get above that, then you come up here 3.46, and then we can hit that 50-day at 3.53, and then we hit that 3.54, and then we have your 100-day at 3.68. But that's not what it did. Okay, so how I trade here is level to level. Okay, so when it went into the 200-day, boom, I'm out. Okay, I didn't make much on the trade. I don't think what did UNG here? What did I get on that thing? I didn't get much on that trade. I think I got like 20 cents on the trade there. Okay, so. And Friday, I don't trade 5,000 shares. I cut that in half to 2,500 shares. But that was a good trade here right into that 200-day. And then boom. Now, if it would have kept right on going, I can jump back in here. Then I look for this next level. Okay. Then I look for the 50-day and the 21-day. Okay. But that's not what it did. It bounced right up here. And then now look and see where it come right back. And now we're below everything. Okay. So that's how you're going to trade it. Now, at midday trading here, I just have everything like side by side. I put crude oil and I put UCO, natural gas, and then UNG. Okay, so all the ETFs are like silver, SLV, gold, GLD, Bitcoin, and the BITX. So check out that video. Everything is side by side, but what you always want to do is trade the chart on the commodity, the actual commodity, not the ETF. Put the charts side by side, but don't trade off of the actual commodity, not the ETF. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. Okay, here we have the indexes, your Dow, your S&P, and the NASDAQ, okay? So you can see here how the Dow here, we're holding that 8-day. Look how nice and strong that is, okay? So now we're coming out here a little bit below that 8-day. So upside, you want to watch that 44,490. That's your 8-day. Then we'll come to the top of that candle, 44,556. Yesterday's high, 44,775. You retest 44,885. That's all your resistance levels and your upside targets, okay? So on the downside here, what you're doing is you're watching the bottom there, 44,225, and then we're going to be watching the bottom there, 44,160. Now, we start losing that. Yeah, we have support levels here, but realistically, you're coming down to that 21-day. You're going to come down to 200-day here, and you come down to that 50-day. And then we have this gap and this fill, okay? So always watch that. But right now, we just have this sideways action. We got to see how it all shakes out here, okay? So we got to an overbought condition, and now we're kind of like pulling back here. Now, this is all tariff related. They're going to do this. But again, if they get the tariffs worked out, this could be all different, okay? Now, look at this 8-day again. So it came down. Look how nice it held it. Even today, yeah, did it go below? But where's the price? Okay, right back above it. So what you want to do on the downside is watch that 62.46. We lose that, we're going to come right down to this level here. You're looking at that 62.01. We come down here, 61.77. Then we can hit that 21-day, but always watch that gap, okay? That fill, and then we come down to the 50-day, possibly 200-day if this sells right on off here, okay? Got to a little bit overbought condition. Now we just have this sideways action that's happening there on the old S&P level, okay? Now, here we have the old NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ, the same thing, okay? Look at this 8-day. See how nice that held? Look at that. Man, see, this is why you trade the charts. Now, on the upside, you want to watch that price channel, that 26.55, and then that's going to be your big-time breakout. We go above that, and, well, we can rally up, whatever. You could go at 21,000, okay? Downside, you just want to watch that 8-day, 24.88. That's going to be very, very key. Now, we lose that. We come down here to the 21-day. We have a gap. We have a fill. And then we could probably come down to the retest here at that 19,334 and possible 50-day. Maybe even the 200-day, okay? So this is why you just always want to look at the charts here. But remember, these are trading times right now. Just trading times. They're not the buy and hold. Buy and hold was here. Buy and hold was here. Buy and hold was here. This is a nice, good trade here. Now, I'm not saying it can't go higher, but you got to be just a little bit cautious up here when we're at nosebleed areas. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here Sunday night, and we'll do it all over again. Okay, we'll take a look at the Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and the old NASDAQ, and we'll get you all set up there for Monday. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and trade what's in front of you, not what you want.